Here we are back for a Week 5 predictions video. Not going to be anybody joining me in for this one because it's early in the day. I know that people are watching games or they're at work and got different things going on, spending time with family, so that's understandable. But we're going to do our normal thing. We're going to run through some games of the week. We're going to run through the predictions, look at some team stats possibly, as well as some statistical leaders throughout the year individually. Um, First, let's get through our basic stuff. We've had a few small issues with some stuff that I thought was kind of covered over the past couple weeks. I want to stress again that all divisional games and games of the week are supposed to be streamed by the road team. Now, if the road team can't stream or has forgotten to stream or has an issue and the home team can, we definitely would like them to do that because the point is to get as many games in the chat streaming as possible. Also, I want to stress no custom playbooks. We had a user removed, the old Chiefs user, because he failed to follow this rule. I want to stress how important that is. Also, running plays consecutively. For the second week in a row, we've had to suspend a player on a team because a user ran the same 3 plays consecutively on defense. Um, so definitely need to make sure that we cut that out in the future. If you've got any questions or if you're looking to get interested in getting into one of these predictions videos, make sure you are messaging one of the commissioners. Also, if you think someone's cheating or breaking rules, make sure you're messaging one of the commissioners in chat. We can't help you if you don't have proof, though. I want to say that, you know what I mean? Unless they admit to it, you're going to need to have proof. Um, Nonetheless, the commissioners are myself, Jason. I'm the Jaguars user. Dean, he's the Packers user. Um, Dwayne, he's the Cowboys user. Savon, he's the Dolphins user. Leslie, he's the Browns user. And Peso, he's the Giants user. Now that we've got that basic stuff out the way, let's get into these predictions here. I do want to check real quick 2 things. Okay, I was having an issue with my mic last week, so I was trying to make sure that it was streaming my voice through it. I'm going to update the Daddy Leagues currently so that everybody has the accurate stuff for that, as well as the Madden Companion app. Looks like we got a few divisional games going on this week, which is really interesting. Those are always fun, as well as some really great games of the week. Definitely looking forward to be excited about. All right, it's updated. We have the 1-3 Steelers facing off with the 3-1 Ravens. I just realized that I skipped the players of the week, so let me go back and do that real fast. Usually that's the first one I like to get into. Got ahead of myself. I'm excited. A lot of good games this week. All right. The NFC Offensive Player of the Week was Van Jefferson, second-year wide receiver out of Florida. He had 4 catches for 195 yards and 3 receiving touchdowns, almost 50 yards of reception. That's insane. Cornerback Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, he's made the switch well from safety for the Saints. He had 1 tackle, 3 interceptions, and 2 touchdowns in that blowout win over the Buccaneers. AFC Offensive Player of the Week, Derrick Henry, came out firing with 24 carries, 263 rushing yards, and 4 rushing touchdowns. Also caught 6 passes for 20 yards and a touchdown. So definitely utilized him in the passing and rushing game. AFC Defensive Player of the Week, Jalen Mills, strong safety for the Titans, had 4 tackles, 3 interceptions, and a touchdown. Definitely making do of his playing time there. Now we'll get back into the predictions, and then we'll go into some player stats after that. We have the 1-3 Steelers versus the 3-1 Ravens. Chap beat the Browns last week, so the Ravens definitely looking good this year to start it off. Steelers had his first victory of the year, a shutout win over the Colts last week, so I know he's definitely looking to build on that momentum. Both these teams are running teams, so I expect relatively low-scoring game. Ravens definitely a significantly better offensive team. Defensively, they're about the same, so I'm going to take the Ravens to win this game at home and continue his dominance. Next, we have the Vikings and the Bengals. Vikings are 0-4 heading into the year versus the 3-1 Bengals, looking to repeat as division champs there. I think they won the division last year. Now that I'm saying that, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure they did over the Ravens. Vikings' entire offense goes through Dalvin Cook, so we'll see if he has success against Quick and the Bengals. I know that Quick tends to struggle on defense. Even in that game last week, he gave up like 40 something to the Chiefs user in his first game with them. So this is going to be interesting. I think this game has possibility to be closer than people imagine in the first half, but Quick is just such a significantly better offensive user. I think that we're going to see it right there. So give me the Bengals to win this game. Next, we have the Patriots and the Bills. Pats are 1-3. Bills are 1-2-1. Kind of surprised to be back this late, but he's played some tough competition. I think he's going to get back on track with a win this week. Pats started the season strong, definitely. He was playing very well early. I think he has to get back to that. Definitely needs to run the football more. I think is what's going to be his key to success. You can't lean everything on Justin Fields. So I'm going to take Buffalo and that high-flying offense to get back to their winning ways, get back to 500 here with a victory. Next, we have the Falcons at 2-2 versus the 1-3 Cowboys. Cowboys have played good football some games this year, like when he played the Saints, and he's played abysmally, like when he played versus the Redskins and other opponents. So I think that this game has potential to be a decent game, one that I looked at for a game of the week if there wasn't so many other great games. I don't know too much about this Falcons user. I've gotten a lot of hype from him. He seems to play well when he plays. He doesn't play down his competition, I'll put it like that, but he doesn't seem to play too fantastic against good competition. That being said, I'm going to take the Falcons to win this game on the road. Probably relatively close score. I'll say 31-21 or something. Next, we got the Dolphins and the Texans. This game is interesting because Savon is one of those users that likes to really he likes to capitalize on turnovers, and the Texans lead the league in turnover differential. He forces turnovers, and he doesn't turn the ball over very often. So I think that this has a potential to be a good defensive game, relatively low scoring by Savon standards at least. But I think offensively, Miami is just such a significantly better team than the Texans are. I think that's where you're going to find out where you're going to see the difference in this game. Next we have the Redskins facing off versus the Panthers. The Washington football team is 3-1. Panthers have got back-to-back wins. He's 2-2. Definitely looking to build on that momentum. He plays in a tough division there with the Saints. I think that the Skins was my most impressive team of the week in the power rankings that we posted because he absolutely shut down the Bears offense. He had 568 yards on that Bears defense for 7 turnovers. So he may be one of those sleeper teams to make a deep playoff run. We know he's a solid user. He definitely plays people tough. Panthers still trying to get themselves figured out. He did win last week over the Cowboys, but he had 2 defensive touchdowns, which was the difference in the game. So I'm going to take the Redskins here. He doesn't turn the ball over. He plays good football. I'm going to take the Redskins to get back to winning. Next, we have the Titans and the Jets. We all know the Jets are building something impressive over there. He makes a ton of trades. He gets the players that he likes in there. He's 1-2 currently. Titans are 3-1. Definitely played very well last week offensively and very poorly defensively. It looks like a basketball score. I said it was 61-47 over the Rams. Derrick Henry cannot be stopped. I don't think there's anyone on this Jets defense that can stop Derrick Henry. I think that I'm looking forward to him having a field day. As long as Twan doesn't try to get cute and pass the ball a whole bunch and things like that, which he tends to do, he'll play down to his competition sometimes. I think that he should get the victory here. 49ers and Rams. I'm not sure when Gavin Dance is getting back. He's supposed to be out until around this time, or maybe a little later in October. And we got a new Rams user. He was a 49ers user in another league of mine that I was in. He's a fan of the 49ers, actually. He's a decent guy. He's going to definitely shock some people this season. He's going to get some victories, and I would not be surprised to see the Rams in the playoffs come postseason. Don't think this game will get played, but if it does, I would pick the Rams to win anyway. Next we have, this is one of the games of the week, so I'm going to save it for last. Next we have the Chiefs at the Raiders. Chiefs are 2-1-1. Raiders are 3-0. Haven't really had to play anybody too good yet this season, so it's going to be interesting to see how he fares versus this high-flying Chiefs offense. I don't know this Chiefs user very well either. Last week was his first game. He did put up 40 points, but he gave up like 60. So it's going to be really tough to see how he's going to do. Raiders definitely going to play a little slower. He does like to get the ball to Henry Ruggs. He plays very well. Like I say, he's undefeated on the year. So I would expect the Raiders to win this game. I think it's going to be relatively close because both of them are decent offensive users. Now moving forward, another divisional game. We got the 0-3-1 Chargers, who just got their first non-loss in the year. They tied last week versus the Giants, playing against the 2-2 Broncos. Broncos have had a tough schedule, man. His two losses are to the Dolphins and to the Titans, so we know how he can play. I think he was 12-4 or 13-3 last year. I look forward to him winning this game. He's going to dominate on both sides of the ball. Chargers got to get their offense going a little better. He is a decent defensive user, but I'll take the Broncos to win. This game is already in play. Bears at the Saints. This was the other game of the week. I was going to wait to the end to do this one as well, but since it's already in play, I guess I will look into it. Before I make my prediction, I'm going to take a second to go look at the score. It's not being streamed for some reason. I realized they started their game before I said this, so I kind of got the issue going on. Let me make sure I get on that. So I'm going to come back to that in a second. Hopefully there'll be a stream up by the time I'm ready for that prediction. Lions and Browns here. Lions are 1-2, Browns 1-3. Two similar users, I would say. Detroit, maybe a little less explosive on offense, but definitely safer. Doesn't turn the ball over as much. Browns and Lions both solid defensive users. I think I'm going to take the Lions to win this game because of the turnover differential type thing. Leslie can kind of start throwing the ball around and not playing as well. I think that Peso is going to play decently well in offense. He's a consistent playoff user last Madden, so I'll take the Lions. Next, we got the Bucks and the Packers. Both teams 3-1. Definitely could have been the game of the week if the Bucks hadn't just got beat by 60 points. I want to say the Bucks beat the Packers last year, and one of the Packers' losses that he was really upset about. So these two definitely know how to play each other. Dean's team is significantly better this year with the addings of Israel Mukwamu and Micah Parsons especially. So I think I would look for the Packers to win this game. He's going to force turnovers. He's going to get to the quarterback. He has a lot of good pass rushers. Offense is going to play decently well with the weapons that he's got. Next, we have the two games of the week. We have the first one, the Jaguars and the Cardinals. Both teams undefeated. Two of the last couple undefeated teams left playing this week. Jaguars 3-0, Cardinals are 4-0. Jags were on bye week last week, so didn't get to see them play. But the last time they played, they faced off with the Titans and dominated on both sides of the ball. Cardinals are 4-0. His last win was a forced win, so he didn't want to see him play last week either. Didn't get to see him play last week either. So it's going to be interesting. He generally, last Madden, was definitely a run user. He liked to run the football, but not having Kylan Hill this year has been a little different for him. He's got DeAndre Hopkins to make up for it, though, so that definitely helps. I think that he's going to play well. I would expect for this to be a tough game, like a really, down to the wire type game. I can't pick against myself. I just feel like that's the rule when you do these predictions videos. So I'm going to take the Jaguars to win on the road, but I would expect this to be a very close, very good game. And lastly, we have the Bears and the Saints. I'm still looking for the stream, which hasn't popped up yet, so that will be dealt with in a little bit. But Bears are 2-2, Saints are 4-0. These two teams faced off last year. I want to say in the regular season and in the playoffs, if I'm correct. I can't remember exactly. Saints just put up 63 points last week. Bears just got absolutely thoroughly dominated on both sides of the ball by the Redskins. So Saints playing as good as they ever have been, and the Bears looking terrible. I think that trade of Roquan Smith has affected him more than he thinks. It's hard losing an anchor in the middle of your defense, no matter how well all the other factors are. Saints definitely moved the ball well. Defense was very, very good last game. So I'm going to take the Saints to win this game, probably by a few scores. I would say 14-21. He's going to focus down, and he's going to get the victory here. Let's go look at some player stats real fast. See who's leading the league and some statistical factions. In passing, Tua Tagovailoa leads the league with 1,361 yards, only 19 yards ahead of Jared Goff. Touchdowns is Tua as well with 15. Aaron Rodgers also has 15, having a really good season. 14 for rookie Desmond Ridder. Most interceptions by Jared Goff has thrown 20 so far. Carson Wentz with 19, and Trey Lance has also thrown 10 for the Steelers. Rushing, Derrick Henry and Nick Chubb both look like they're leading the league with 84 carries. Henry leads the league in rushing over Chubb by a significant margin. there. Puka Williams also playing real good with 547. Touchdowns, it's Derrick Henry with 9 and Kenyon Drake for the Cardinals with 9. I was just hitting on this Cardinals and how they like to run the football, so you see it there. The fumbles on the year, Lamar Jackson is 4, and then a whole bunch of people with 2, mostly quarterbacks, as you see there. Last one we'll look at is broken tackles. Nick Chubb has 34 broken tackles on the season, which is absolute insanity. Derrick Henry has 14 in second place. That's 20 more. So Leslie's definitely got something going well for him up there. Receiving, Van Jefferson leads with 756 receiving yards. That leads the league. 10 touchdowns also leads the league, I'm sure. He is way ahead of everybody else in both of those categories. Receptions-wise, Tamarian Terry, the rookie out of Florida State, for the Packers, leads the way with 37 catches so far. So good stuff for him. Blocking-wise, looks like we got 3 people who haven't allowed a sack yet. Jason Kelsey, Trent Brown, and Quentin Nelson. While Jake Matthews, the left tackle for the Falcons, has allowed the most with 6. Tunsil and Tomlinson with 5 each. Tackles, Patrick Queen leads the way with 37 for the Ravens. I want to say he led the league in tackles last year as well, so definitely looks like he's doing well. Fred Warner's at 36, but 30 of them are solo, so that's really impressive. Tackles for loss, Patrick Queen also with Deion Jones with 8 tackles for loss. QB sacks, Yannick Ngakoue, who led the league last year, as leading the league here with 4. Devin White, middle linebacker, that's impressive, also has 4. Jerry Hughes, older defensive end for the Seahawks with 3.5, as well as Nick Bosa. Interceptions-wise, Brandon Jones, who led the league last year, has 5 interceptions this year. Dory Jackson for the Titans has 5 as well. I want to say he got like 3 last week. Mike Hilton, the only person with 4. Deflection 6 by Daryl Worley and Marshawn Lattimore. Forced fumbles, only people with 2 are TJ Edwards and Patrick Queen. Fumble recoveries, got a few people with 2. Kayvon Wallace, Anthony Barr, Zach Cunningham, and Minka Fitzpatrick. And defensive touchdowns, only 2 people have scored twice defensively this year. Both of them play on the Saints roster, Marshawn Lattimore and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Last one we'll look at here, just because I should mention this. Some of the commissioners were talking. There's going to be dev boosts for kickers and for punters. We're going to do the punter. They're going to you'll only be able to go up 1 dev, but it'll be the kicker who wins the AFC and NFC kicker award. And for punter, it'll be whoever has the most inside the 20 will get 1, and then whoever has the most average will get 1. But anyway, back to kicking. We've got a few people with 100% here. Looks like Matt Gay for the Patriots leads the way at 7 of 7. Got a whole bunch of people with 6 of 6. Long of the year is 60 yards by Aldrick Rosas for the Lions. Punting-wise, only so I'm going to look at. I'm going to look at these averages, and I'm going to look at inside the 20. Average-wise, Michael Dixon leads the way for the Seahawks. And inside the 20, this is a big one. 4 for Pat O'Donnell and the Bengals. It's really impressive as well. Has there been any touchdowns, kick returning, or punt returning? Kick returning, looks like TJ Logan ran one back. He's averaging 32 yards a return. And Devin Duvernay ran a punt back. So I think that's going to do it for the predictions video. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to hit team stats one week, and the next week hit player stats, and like the leaders in each. That way we're not hitting the same thing over and over again. Everybody make sure you get your games in. You're streaming the games that are supposed to be streamed, and everybody have a good day.